Today, we got Captain America taking on Spider-Gwen. Who wins? Well, let's find out. During World War II, Steve Rogers volunteered to receive the experimental super soldier serum, enhanced to the pinnacle of human physical potential, and armed with an unbreakable shield, he became Captain America. After a failed mission left him encased in ice for decades, he was found and revived by the Avengers, later becoming the team's leader. Steve is as strong, fast, durable, and agile as any human one day could be, and is referred to as the next step in human evolution. Cap is strong enough to bench press a ton as a warm-up, break steel chains, he threw his shield through a tank, and pulled a helicopter out of the air. Steve is incredibly durable, able to take punches from Namor, tank a point-blank explosion from Gambit, and one time he even survived a 200-foot fall from an airplane and suffered no discomfort. He's fast enough to run 60 miles per hour, and his reflexes are so great that he can easily dodge bullets. But many people can dodge bullets. So what makes Steve different? Well, Steve can actually see the bullets coming his way and move in time, while other bullet dodgers do it purely by years of training and reflexes. Another major enhancement by the serum is that Cap has no fatigue toxin buildup, which means that he effectively never tires and can perform at his maximum ability for an incredible period of time. Steve is one of the best fighters in the Marvel Universe, and is a master of a large number of different fighting styles. He's even developed his own fighting style, which melds jiu-jitsu, boxing, judo, karate, pressure point, all-terrain acrobatics, and the use of his shield. Speaking of the shield, let's talk about that for a second. Captain America's shield is a vibranium alloy, and is virtually unbreakable. It absorbs the kinetic force of anything that strikes it, which enables Cap to ricochet the shield off of objects and allow it to come back to him. Then, in the other corner of Spider-Gwen. Gwen Stacey was the first true love of Peter Parker, and is best known for her tragic death by being thrown off from the Brooklyn Bridge by the Green Goblin. However, the Earth-65 version is the heroic Spider-Woman, otherwise known as Spider-Gwen. Spider-Woman was originally depicted as having similar powers to Spider-Man, as both of the powers originated from being bit by a radioactive spider. She's superhumanly strong, and according to Marvel's guidebook, she can lift approximately 10 tons. Gwen has also damaged cars with her attacks, punched Rhino straight through a brick wall, and along with help from her Earth's version of Captain America, she pulled down the roof of a sewer. Spider-Woman is also superhumanly durable, as she's withstood explosions and blasts from someone like Electro, and was even blasted through a brick wall and still got back up ready to fight. Then Gwen is incredibly fast and agile, as she can easily weave around and dodge bullets or energy weapons. She also does spider sense, which functions as a sixth sense of sorts. It can tell her about dangerous things about to happen, allow her to avoid sneak attacks, or predict where an enemy will strike and move beforehand. She can use her hands and feet to attach to virtually any surface, and she owns web shooters that were created and given to her by former hero and current billionaire mogul Janet Van Dyne. These web shooters filter moisture out of the air to create an adhesive web fluid, and she can use them to swing from building to building and create web nets, ropes, and even web wings. The web shooters also don't require refilling, as long as moisture is present in the air. Spider-Gwen isn't necessarily a trained fighter, but she is able to use her incredible powers to win many fights, and she's picked up some fighting skills from watching kung fu movies. So who wins? Well, let's break it down. So basically the way I see this fight is essentially power versus skill and experience. Because being a spider, Gwen is definitely physically superior to Captain America in basically every area. But on the other hand, I don't think anyone is going to argue that Steve isn't the much more skilled and experienced fighter. I mean, really, Gwen doesn't have any notable fight training to speak of, while Cap is easily one of the best fighters in the Marvel Universe. So, I suppose the first place we should start is to see if Captain America can even hang with Spider-Gwen because of her superior physical abilities. Like, Daredevil might be the better fighter than She-Hulk, but because she's so much stronger and more durable than him, Matt has absolutely no shot at winning. Now, yeah, I know that's an extreme example, and Steve and Gwen are much closer when it comes to physicality, but you get my point. However, here's the problem. With Gwen being such a new character, we don't really have a ton of feats to work with, or clearly see how much damage she can do to Captain America. So let's flip the script. Let's take a look and see if Steve's durable enough to take punches from a 10-tonner, and is fast enough to react to someone who can easily dodge bullets. So, can Cap take punches from Spider-Woman? Absolutely. He's been smashed through multiple walls and had a building dropped on him, not breaking any bones in the process, and that's one of his lower end feats. He's taken attacks from Namor, War Machine, and Iron Man, who are all much stronger than Spider-Gwen. So I'm betting that he'll be able to take Spider-Woman's attacks as well. Yeah, her attacks will do some damage, as she does have similar powers to Spider-Man, but Cap can take some punches and get back up and keep on coming. And that's not even mentioning Captain America's shield, which will be able to easily block Gwen's attacks. However, we then have to ask if Cap is fast enough to dodge or block Spider-Gwen's attacks, as she is faster and more agile than him. However, not by much. Steve has dodged countless bullets, even at point-blank range, or after they were fired, and has blocked multiple bullets at the same time as they were fired at his head and feet. Cap has even dodged and blocked attacks from Spider-Man himself. And while Peter was probably holding back due to his immense amount of respect for Steve, I think that's balanced out by the fact that he was in the Iron Spider suit at the time, and has just proved himself to be much faster and more skilled of a fighter than Gwen. However, it likely will be difficult for Captain America to land hits on Spider-Gwen, mostly because of her superior speed and agility, and also because of her spider sense. She knows when and how someone is going to attack her, and is fast enough to dodge bullets, which is faster than Cap can either throw a punch or his shield. Now, that's not to say that Steve won't be able to hit her, as he's hit many people who can dodge bullets, and has fought against Spider-Man and the superior Spider-Man, who both have a spider sense as well. So basically, all I'm getting at here is that even though Spider-Gwen is physically superior to Captain America, Steve can definitely hang in there, and he's fought against more powerful opponents before. However, with that being said, Gwen will be able to injure Cap with her punches more than he can with his. She can dodge more of his attacks, and she'll be able to land more attacks as well. But physicality is just one aspect of this fight. We've also got to take a look at fighting skill, experience, and things like that. And that is where Steve takes this solid advantage. They're nowhere near to being on the same level. I mean, Gwen learned how to fight from watching kung fu movies. Captain America has had 80 years of fighting experience, and is easily one of the best fighters in the world. In fact, Steve has mastered a form of combat better than masters with decades of experience after just practicing it once. Cap has also got experience fighting against spiders, having battled against Spider-Man, Agent Venom, and Superior Spider-Man. It's also been said that he knows an enemy's weaknesses after just fighting them once. And although he's never gone up against Spider-Gwen herself, most spiders do tend to have a similar fighting style, relying on their speed and agility, their webs, and their spider sense more than strength or durability. Gwen tends to be a bit more ruthless than Peter, but they have a similar base style, and Cap should be able to pick up on that. Steve's shield is also kind of the perfect defense against Gwen's webbing, as he'll be able to block a lot of her shots, or even use the shield to cut her webbing in half. And even if Spider-Woman is able to web it out of his hand, like Spider-Man did in Civil War, well, I don't see that working out too well for her. Captain America is just as dangerous without a shield, and he's surprisingly dangerous with a shield even if he doesn't have it in his hands. Like one time Steve was tied up, and an enemy was holding his shield, yet Cap was able to free himself and take out enemies just by kicking the shield the right way. So, at the end of the day, can Spider-Gwen win? Yes, she definitely can use her greater strength and speed to come out on top, and she will claim a few victories. But I really gotta back Captain America in this fight. He'll be able to physically hang with her, is the much better fighter than her, and even has experience fighting its spiders in the past. End of the day, Spider-Gwen is a relatively new character, and she just hasn't performed enough impressive feats to justify consistently beating someone with Steve's skill or experience. Captain America wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe button. More videos just one every single week a day, and I'll see you next time.